What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm MLB Chatterbox. Christian Corey is the name, and we have a interesting signing here today coming out of Anaheim. Yes, the Angels have made a move this offseason, and it is to avoid arbitration with one of their current two-way players, the only two-way player really in professional baseball. That is Shohei Ohtani. So let's just get right into it. I mean, Shohei Ohtani and the Angels have agreed on a 2-year deal to avoid arbitration, and the deal is worth $8.5 million. The club announced today on Monday. Here's an article from MLB.com. It says the Angels and Ohtani were set to go to arbitration hearing after failing to agree to terms before the deadline to submit arbitration figures on January 15th. Ohtani filed at $3.3 million, and the Los Angeles Angels countered at $2.5 million. But the Halos instead received some cost certainty by signing Ohtani through 2022, avoiding the arbitration process next year as well. Ohtani will go through arbitration a final time for the 2023 season before becoming a free agent. So he's got one more time in arbitration in 2023. So they signed him to a 2-year deal. So he'll be there, until 2022. He'll do it again to 2023. So he'll become a free agent finally at the age of 28 years old. So, I mean, it's a good age, right in there. Same thing, kind of around Bauer's age where he hit the free agency, 28, 30. So he'll be fine, a two-way player. Hopefully, he will still have the luxury of pitching and hitting once he hits free agency. But I think this is good for the Angels, to be quite honest. Who else are they going to get? I mean, you look at him more as a pitcher. You have the hitters. You have Pujols still, which kind of sucks. You have Trout. You have Upton. You have guys there that can swing the bat. You don't really need him, Ohtani, for his bat, really. It's a luxury. You need him for the pitching. At this point, the experiment, him of a two-way player, can kind of be out the window. I mean, if you're the Angels, why would you play around with it anymore? I mean, it was cute. It was fun. It was cool to see. Trust me, I was all for it in the beginning. But when you are a team like the Angels, who honestly, let's be honest, if they did not have Mike Trout, there's no way in heck anybody would consider them a playoff contender. But every single year, they have to make moves that look like they're a playoff contending team. And they haven't made the playoffs. But every year they have to go into the offseason thinking and making moves that look like they are a playoff contender. Because they got Mike Trout, signed him up, a gigantic contract, exceeding, $400 million. So this is ridiculous. That the Angels do not make any moves. This is necessary, obviously, the Shohei Ohtani move. And to be quite honest, a disappointment from the Angels. The Angels, they really make dumb moves. I'm sorry. It's not that this move is dumb. This move is smart. It needed to be made. I mean, you would have gone to arbitration with them. You would have had, bad feelings. I mean, you really could have said, dude, you haven't played in, 2 years. You haven't pitched in 2 years. You swung the bat fine. But again, you haven't really pitched for us. And ever since he came over from Japan, that was the whole spiel, is that he was going to pitch. And they need him to be a pitcher. They need him to be a pitcher. They need him to be a pitcher. They desperately need Ohtani to pitch, and pitch well. I mean, he's a good pitcher, but if he could focus on one thing, which I think wouldn't be a bad idea, if they could say, you know what, Ohtani, we don't need you at the plate. We'll figure out the offense thing. We have the offense. We have the best player in the world in center field. You don't need him. You really don't need Shohei Ohtani to hit. You need him to pitch. And if you look at his numbers, pitching-wise, in 2018, he had a 3.31 ERA. He pitched 51 2/3 innings. He was 4-2. 19, he didn't pitch because he had Tommy John. And then in 2020, this past year, ERA, terrible, 0-1, did not do good at all. Angels were not in it. You all know that. It's just unfortunate that this guy had this type of career coming to America and playing America's game, that, a very talented individual. But he has some, good stats on both sides of the ball. He can do good on both sides of the ball. But if you were to ask me, any Angels fan, I think they'd say I need him as a pitcher. But I think this is a good deal and a good move by the Angels. They had to do it. They had to get somebody for that rotation. They have absolutely nobody in that rotation. Alex Cobb, whoop-de-doo. They got Alex Cobb. That was like the big move for them when it comes to pitching. Shohei Ohtani's back, woohoo. Rafael Iglesias for the bullpen. I mean, other than that, this is not a good starting rotation. This is not a good starting rotation. We all know that. And frankly, I think when it comes to starting pitchers, they need to get Jake Odorizzi. I think they could get Jake Odorizzi. I mean, they whiffed on Bauer, so you can't get Bauer now. Bauer's gone. He went down the road. And Fiers signed with Oakland. Honestly, you got nobody out there now when it comes to free agency. I don't see them trading for anybody because who they got to give up? They're not going to give up Joe Adell, so forget that. That ship has sailed when it comes to that opportunity. They could have got, Blake Snell. I thought they could have flipped Joe Adell, to the Rays for Blake Snell, but they didn't want to do that, so whatever. Honestly, I think for the Angels, when it comes to their options left to improve their starting rotation, I would get, again, suggestions, free agency, Cole Hamels, Jake Arrieta, and Taijuan Walker. Taijuan Walker would be the best because he's 28. But that's what I would do if I was the Angels, because honestly, the Angels blew it. They did. I mean, this is good. Ohtani signing, I mean, they avoided arbitration. That's the only reason why they did it. Because they can't afford to let him go. They can't. And they can't really say, well, you know what, you haven't pitched, and your hitting's been average, and you came over here with high expectations. I mean, they can't do that. They can't afford to do that. They can't afford to lose him. They can't say anything negative about Ohtani, because Ohtani's been working his butt off. Probably the hardest working guy on that team next to Mike Trout. And the fact that they have Mike Trout every year makes them act like a postseason contender. Every year they have to act like a postseason contender. And they try, and they try. They whiffed on Yu Darvish. They whiffed on Blake Snell. They whiffed on Mike Clevenger. They whiffed on Trevor Bauer. They whiffed on Garrett Cole. Last year, I mean, they've been whiffing on these starting pitchers, and I don't know why. Something's wrong with the Angels, and why starting pitchers do not want to go there. Good starting pitchers. And whenever they do get a good guy, he sucks. So something's bad there. Even with Joe Madden at the helm, which I thought was a good move by him a couple years ago, but they just can't do it. I'm sorry. They can't. This is a good signing by the Angels. Needed to be made because Ohtani is the only saving grace for that rotation in Anaheim. So that's all I got to say over this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and as always, guys, I'm going to catch you later.